Okay, I think I'm live on both YouTube and LinkedIn. So this session is a very practical one to build your first AI-powered automation in n8n. So we'll start from scratch, starting from signing up to the platform, and then we'll explore the workspace and build our first automation. So you can do this with me. You can go really, this is a very, very beginner this is an absolute beginner session. So if you sign up to n8n, you can go with me. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. So go to n8n.io. That's the n8n cloud platform. You can get started for free, and you can build this build the workflow that we're going to build, which looks something like this, for absolutely free. So let's sign up to the platform first. You don't need a company email. You can just use your personal email address. I'm using a Gmail account. So I need to go to my Gmail and get the key. Oh, typed in the wrong email. So this is my key. Submit. Just start the 14-day trial. So you can answer these questions. And you can skip here. So let's click on this Start Automating button, which will take us to the workspace. So when we first start out, this is what we see. So now we're going to click on Start from Scratch. So this is what the workspace looks like. This is where you build your automation. So if you click on home again, you don't have any workflows created yet. If you had, it will show up here. And this plus button will let you create workflows, credentials, or projects. You can organize your workflows into projects. So let's start from scratch. So there are two options. You can do this manually, or you could build with AI. So building with AI means you can just describe your workflow or what you're trying to achieve, and it will first tell you the plan. This is what I understand from your description, and this is what I'm going to build. And if you agree with that, you can go ahead and build that. But you have to be mindful of this one. So it will send all of your execution data to the so your data will be exposed if you use this feature. If you disable this, you won't be able to use the AI builder, so be mindful of that. But we are going to do the manual way today. So let me quickly check one thing before we move on. Okay, fine. So before we move on, we'll look at some of the nodes. So there are, if you click on this plus button, you can see there are so many categories of nodes. So in n8n, we call these nodes. So these would represent either triggers, apps, or there are helper nodes, AI nodes. So you can add any of those nodes by clicking on this plus button. So in a workflow, the first node is always a trigger node. So there are different types of triggers. So when we are trying to add our first node, it shows us this all the trigger nodes first. So trigger manually, that means you can trigger this workflow on demand when you click a button. And on app event, so when something happens in a different application like Notion, Airtable, or email, when you receive an email, you can trigger a workflow. Or you could go on schedule. So on schedule means you schedule it to run at a particular time of the day, weekly, daily, hourly. So these are all the triggers that you can use. So then there are application nodes like, let's say, Google Sheets, email. Then there are others like Slack. There are lots of application nodes that you can connect. And if you don't have your application listed here, you can still connect to it using its API. If an API is available, you can use the HTTP node to connect to your application. So let's see what we are going to build today. So this is what the workflow will look like at the end. So what we're going to build today is a scheduled workflow which runs every morning, and it pulls in some sales data from a Google Sheet, and we use AI to analyze it and then give us some highlights and insights, and send it to our Slack or email. So yeah, let's start building that. So the first one is a scheduled trigger, but for now I'll use a manual trigger so it's easier for us to test. So once you click on that, it will appear on this workspace. So you can, whenever you click on this red button here, execute workflow, the workflow, you can test it. You can test the workflow. So the other thing is connecting your apps. So let's connect Sheets. I do have a Google Sheet here. So I'm going to connect to this Google Sheet and get these data to be sent to the AI analyzer. So let's add a node. Click on this plus button and type in the name and select Google Sheets. So there are different options here. You can create a spreadsheet, delete, append, or clear the whole sheet. What we want to do is get the rows of the sheet. So when you first connect an application, you have to create your credentials. That means you connect to that particular application with your credentials or login details. Luckily here we have Google Auth working. So if I click on this sign in with Google button, I can sign into my Google account, and then it will ask me to give permission to n8n cloud to allow edit, create and delete Google Sheets in my account. So I'm going to select all of them and continue. And my credential is now created and my account is connected. So once I connect it, I can connect to any or all of the Google Sheets in my particular Google account. So I'm going to get rows of this sheet. So set sample, and the particular sheet is going to be sheet 1. So this this screen appears when you double click on this node. It will open up for you to configure the node. So now we have the trigger, the manual trigger, and then we connect it to the Google Sheets node, and you click on that. First we created this credential, and then we selected the operation, which is get rows. Now we have to select the particular Google Sheet that we want to use. So the name is a sample. I have so this lists out all the Google Sheets in your account, and you can select the one you want to work with. And then if I had, let's say, another sheet over here, this will show that one. So if I refresh this list, now you can see sheet 1 and sheet 2. I'm going to select sheet 1. and then I can execute this step, which is to fetch all the data from the Excel sheet. So now it has fetched 3 items in the table. So just like that, you can pull data from a Google Sheet, and now it has 3 items, which means these 3 rows. So now what we want to do, if we go back to our example, is we want to pull yesterday's sales data and then analyze it with AI. So we need an AI node, which is we're going to use OpenAI because we get some free credits from n8n to try it out. So we want to message a model. So delete this. So at any point, if you don't want a node, or you accidentally clicked on one, you can, when you hover over this node, these 3 icons will appear, and if you click on this bin button, the delete button, it will disappear. So to add a node, you could click the plus button here or the plus here. If you click on this, you can search for OpenAI, and then these are the actions that you can do with the AI node. What I want to do is message a model. So we have OpenAI credits. We can claim it, and then it created the credentials for us. If we didn't have this, or we ran out of it, we have to create a new credential using the API key from OpenAI. Now, because we have this, we'll use it, and we are going to send a text message to a model. So we have to select the model, OpenAI model first. I'll select GPT-4o mini, and then message type is text. The role is user. So the prompt, this is quite important because we want to send all this sales data and analyze it, and we have to instruct the model exactly what to do. So I've already written a prompt. I'll just copy that. And paste it over here. So what this prompt says is, you're a business performance analyst, analyze the following daily sales data and produce a concise Slack ready summary. So these are the particular instructions, and we have to give the AI model the data that we retrieved from this Google Sheet. So currently it's like 3 individual items. We want to combine these 3 into one. If we use this as it is, if you run this, it will execute this workflow 3 times. Like it will execute the this step, the AI model. So it will message the model 3 times using these 3 rows, like 1 execution per row or per item. So what we want to do is combine all of this. For that, we have some data transformation nodes in n8n. For example, the aggregate, we can use the aggregate node to combine all of these rows into one array. So I'm going to click on this plus button. When I hover on this arrow, it will appear, and I'm going to add an aggregate node. So now we have the aggregate node in between the OpenAI node and the Google Sheet. And I'm going to click on that and open it to configure it. I have to tell it what to do. So on the left side, we have the data that comes in from the previous node, which is the Google Sheet. And then on the right side is the output after executing this current node. So you can view this data in different formats, like this is the schema, this is the table, and this is in JSON format. It doesn't matter how you see it, it's just your preference. So what we want to configure here is we want to aggregate not individual fields, we want to aggregate all the items into a single list. And we can execute this step and see what it produces. So this is how it looks like. If you look at the JSON, this is what it is. So now we have one item that we can use in our prompt. Okay, now if you open this up, so how do we use this in this prompt? So this is what I have typed in as the prompt, and I'm giving the sales data here. So how do we input this sales data into here? So as in the previous one, we have this data from the previous node showing up on the left side, and we have other ones as well. So if you want, you can just drag this over here and you can see what is the outcome over on the right side. So when I bring this in over here, it says json.data and it's showing up as object, which we want to, what we want to do is get the text or the string value of that. So we want to convert this into a string, and n8n provides built-in methods which you can use. So I'll just talk about it a little bit. Let's say you want to tell the model, send the model that today's date is this one, and daily business summary for, let's say we want to say the date. If you want to insert the date here, you have to write an expression. It's very simple. You start with 2 curly braces, and if you type in the $sign, it will show all the existing functions. So if you say today, this will give you today's date. You can even format it the way you want it using the format function, but yeah, that's not what I want here. So this is also a similar one, which is an expression. When we drag this in here, it automatically converts it to an expression, and we can use the built-in functions here as well. So I'm going to use one such function called to JSON string, and it converts this array into this one. Okay, so this is what we are sending to our model. And can close this now. You can execute it individually because the data on the left side is already here. If it wasn't, you can execute the workflow. It will run all the nodes one by one. We'll try that now. Execute node. Yes, now we have a response from OpenAI node. Let's see what it is. You can see the node's response over here. It's using line breaks so that it's nicely formatted for an email or a message. And it gives us the daily business summary. Yeah, and now we have the message nicely formatted. Now we want to send this to somewhere. It's your preferred communication channel, whether it's Slack, email, WhatsApp, or could be anything. Okay, I was just checking the stream. So yeah, now we want to send this to, let's say we want to connect Slack. I like using Slack. So I want to send a message. You can type in the operation that you're trying to do and search it, because in Slack there are 44 operations, including triggers. So let's say send a message. You have to create credentials to connect this to your Slack. Again, you can use sign in via Slack. You don't have to do anything else. You can do access token if you want to, but this is the easiest method. Just click on connect my account and it will open a pop-up window to sign into Slack. So yeah, I'm going to allow, and it's created the credentials. So you can close that, and now you can see your credential is created. And then what you want to do is message. Operation is send, and send the message to. Here you can select your channel or user. So I'll probably use a channel, and it will give me all the channels that I have. I'll go for general, and then the message text. So here is where we type the message that we want to send to Slack. Now what we want to do is send the message from this AI model to Slack. Okay, how do we do that? It's very simple. You just select your node from here. So our previous node is the AI node, and in here we have all the data that's coming in from that node. What we're interested is in this text, which is our summary, and you just simply drag it over here, and you can execute this step to see that you receive the Slack message. So if I sign into my Slack, okay, so this is the message that we received just now. This is the previous one when I tested this out this morning. Yeah, so that's our Slack message. If you noticed over here, it says automated this with n8n workflow, and if you click on this link, it will open up the workflow if you're logged in, of course. But if you don't want to send that link, there's an option over here. You have to add this option, include link to workflow. You just have to turn this off and it will not send the link again. So let's just change some values over here. Let's say maybe, oops. Okay. And then now let's execute the workflow once again. And let's see if we got a new message. Yeah, now that link is gone and it's giving us the new message. So just like a Slack message, you can also do an email. I'll just connect Gmail, that's the easiest one. Let's say send a message. And again, you have to create credentials to connect Gmail. And yeah, so I will send it to myself. So subject, daily sales summary, and the email type, I'm going to select text because it's just a simple text, and this is the text message. Again, we have to drag this over here to this message field, and let's see, we don't need to CC anyone. There are like other options you can use, but let's just execute this step. Okay, so yeah, here we have the daily summary from the workflow. Right, so we can actually remove this n8n link at the bottom that you saw by turning this off in the options. So that's the workflow. So when you have these two nodes running in parallel, what happens is these nodes will execute in sequence, and then the one at the top will execute first and then the one at the bottom. The only difference to the sequence is that it's not using data, the output from this email coming into here. You don't have that. So you will always have the data or the output from the previous node available to your current node. That's how it works. So not from here to here because they're not connected. So both these nodes will have access to the output from this one and all the previous ones as well. So that's our simple workflow. Oh, and we forgot to do one thing. Here we have to, I'm going to delete this manual trigger node and add a scheduled node. So when we add a scheduled trigger, we have to configure it to our own schedule. So we want to run this every day at, let's say, 7 a.m. No minutes. So that's all. You just have to connect it to the beginning. So now how does this work? So this does not work as, if you just leave it at this, it will not run. Don't expect it to run at 7 a.m. tomorrow. You have to publish the workflow for it to work automatically without your involvement. Otherwise, you'll have to come here and click this execute button every time you want to execute this workflow. So if you set something up to run automatically, you always have to publish it, and it's giving us a version, and let's say, okay, it's published. So now it will run at 7 a.m. every day, and in settings, yeah. So that's that. What else did I want to mention? So if you want to see, if you go to this, if you click on this home button, which is the overview, you can see your workflow. If you want to create another workflow, you can just click on this red button, create workflow, and you can create another one. And you can also organize these workflows into folders or projects, or you can add tags. If you go in here, you can add a tag, and that way you can organize them. If you have so many workflows, just have a play with this. And another thing is you can see your credentials. So this is the workflows tab. There's a credentials tab over here. So as you can see, you have your Gmail account created, connected, Slack. This is the OpenAI and Google Sheets. So all your connected apps will show up over here. So let's say you want to share this workflow with somebody, or you want to keep a backup of this workflow. You can click on this three dots over here, and you can download it. So it will download a JSON file, and let me see if I can show you what it looks like. I need to add it. Okay, window capture. All right. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Right. Yeah, I'll just close this. Okay. So you can keep that workflow, and you can also, if you have so let's say you have downloaded, or you have got a workflow like that, you can import it. Let's say you want to import from file, and you select that one, and it will automatically be turned into this workflow. So you have two workflows now. Make sure to, so this is the published one that we created, and once you import a workflow, you have to go and publish it if you want it to run, or you could just archive and delete it. Let's see. Okay, what is have you tried execute command node? Well, let's see what it is. No, I don't have that node actually. There is execute sub workflow, so you can have different individual independent workflows, and in one agentic workflow or one master workflow, you can execute other workflows. So that's a question I got in the comments.